workshop today about MiniPay and some of the ideas we think you can build for this hackathon. Um, Before I ask Jason to join, I would like to just do a quick intro about the hackathon. So if you go to this website that I have here on the banner, bwc at celo.org, you will find all the information you need for this hackathon. BWC is a monthly series of hackathons we organize with partners, and to feature technology for hackers to play with. And this month we are really excited because we have Opera with their new product called MiniPay. MiniPay is a stable coin wallet with a massive potential for distribution. We'll learn more about it in a bit with Jason Rodrigues. But I just want to just quickly talk about key dates for folks to be aware of, and then just talk about prices quickly. So the first thing you should know is that you are able to register and submit your project. You can do it now, and you will be able to do so until the submission due date, which is on November 5th at midnight Pacific Standard Time. We have a few things organized for you. So we have an ideas workshop today, and then we have office hours, technical office hours on our Discord server, and these happen every Tuesday for the next 3 weeks. I know we are preparing an email to offer also one-on-one support for developers. So we will be sending that email soon. If you don't receive our emails, just go to Celo Devs on Twitter and sign up for our newsletter. And then finally, I just want to talk about prices for this hackathon. We have $10,000 worth of prizes. We have a first prize of $2,500, a second prize of $2,000, a third prize of $1,500, and then we have a special bounty for projects developing with Social Connect. MiniPay uses Social Connect to make it really easy for folks to send money to their friends and family using their phone number. So we just want to see best uses of Social Connect besides that. And then we have another bounty for best real world use case. So a bunch of prizes. And then we have $1,000 for a pool prize divided among the 4 project finalists, I believe. Oh, sorry. Jason is getting ahead of me. But he's ready. Jason is ready, guys. So I'm going to bring him to stage. Jason, hi.
Hello there. How's it going? So sorry. I've been playing around with the interface in the back, and I was being naughty. I apologize for that.
You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. I was done.
Thank you for the wonderful introduction. That was like super fun, and I'm super happy to be here and to be supporting on this wonderful hackathon by means of delivering this workshop. I intend to do it and recycle this and keep this sort of a living place that people can come back to. So hold me accountable to that, and like I'm excited to get started.
Yeah. So one last thing is that if you have questions for Jason, I'm gonna be here in the backstage, making sure I get all the questions. And if I see a question that we should surface at the moment, I will come to stage and ask Jason to address the question. If not, I'm going to save those questions for the end. And again, if you have questions, just ask. There's going to be at least 5 minutes at the end of the webinar for us to address questions. So with that, I'm gonna ask Jason to take it away, and yeah, have fun.
Perfect. So I'm going to ask if folks can see my screen. Perfect.
Yes.
Getting a good response. Awesome. So today we're gonna go into thinking about ideas for your MiniPay application or your first MiniPay application. I'm super excited because conceptually this is going to be a very interactive, principles-driven workshop that will kind of go into the depths of how we kind of built this and how we thought about it and how you could be thinking about it. So the agenda is really, really simple. It's just three things that I want to convey to you today. I'm going to keep it very simple, very interactive. It's principles behind designing your first or developing your first MiniPay app and how it might be different. Then the bulk of it will focus on ideas. So, we don't want you to waste a lot of time thinking about it. And if if you want to build something, want to have fun, this may be the section for you. And of course, if you're thinking about it, then the how is also something that might be good. I see comments there. Hey, Kang, really awesome to have you on this workshop. So a lot of people ask me, what is MiniPay? And I have a good answer for it that may be in the product space, but also MiniPay is a movement, in my view. It's a movement to make crypto more simplistic and a step in the direction for that. In a nutshell, MiniPay is simply a stablecoin wallet that enables users to send money from place to place in the simplest and lightest weight experience. Now, for a lot of people, access to crypto has been bottlenecked by a variety of things, such as inability to obtain crypto or user experience being difficult. But we didn't want that to happen with MiniPay, and that's what led to building the lightest wallet in the world. MiniPay in its current state could fit on a floppy disk. It's less than 2 megabytes big. It's also currently the fastest growing wallet in the whole of Africa. So quite excited for this. And in a nutshell, if I have to summarize what we're thinking about, and I'll kind of go into why in the upcoming slides, but MiniPay is ridiculously bold, simplistic, and really well distributed. It's important to keep these principles in mind as you're thinking about building, because in a nutshell, what this does for you is give you conceptual ideas and a framework to think about new ideas for things that you can build. We also killed the connect wallet button and switch networks by passing up context to the app. In a really simple manner, users now no longer need to go through the effort of finding in a convoluted UX where to sort of connect and what to do. And we'll teach you how to kind of build using that. But why this is impactful and the results that we've seen from our early runs is that we've seen massive click-through rates because the users no longer have the step of going to connect. They're directly in an interface where they can make transactions happen. So what that means for you as a developer is you can build painfully simple, like very, very simple applications that enable these features for your users, and they come very with built-in distribution. In addition, our onboarding process is also smooth as butter. It allows for you to have the user come into the user interface and manage their private keys through an encrypted backup to the cloud into their Google Cloud. So it's a non-custodial wallet, but continues to be super simple. And what we've noticed with that is that people make transactions in the first 5 seconds of being dropped into an interface. Now think about an environment where you have users, you have your idea, and you have a place that people understand what needs to be done. What does that result in? Really good ideas catching fire and your app acquiring distribution that it's never seen before. The principles to build an application for MiniPay are truly, truly simple. And these 3 words will encapsulate it. We like experiences that are simple. We also eye apps that are super useful. So think about what a user can achieve using your app. So, user X achieves Y using your app. And it fulfills a certain need. So think about usefulness of your application to the user. And lastly, a user experience that evokes joy. It doesn't have to be a really well-designed experience, but a simple experience that user evokes joy is something that can be designed and developed. And that's something that we can work towards. give me a shout later on if you think that a workshop on thinking about user experience might be handy, and we can definitely chat more about it. And I'm happy to kind of talk you through how we think about this as well in a further talk, or a further installment of the same talk. But that said, I'm excited to kind of bring this to you. Now, when we think about custom user experiences, that it may seem a bit convoluted to understand exactly what I mean by that. Now, take for example a user experience that we have here, which is stake Celo, or just a random application that I picked up there. I wanted to take it apart and give you an example of what it means to build a custom user experience that is routed specifically for MiniPay, that has very simplistic usage that will grow the usage across the board. Use these principles in your app currently. It doesn't have to be through MiniPay to make it 10x more effective in getting usage and conversion through your app. So if you look at it here, we've grossly simplified language to make it accessible to every user. It's not just sophisticated crypto users, but also like more of our audience that is based in the target geographies that may not necessarily have access to it. They may be using it from feature phone and like want to make it very simple and light. The second would be to have a very light user experience. That means your packet size is less than 100 kilobytes. We are serving to data sparse areas, which means that having this experience be tight is very important. Next, if you look at it, we've also cut down on jargon, so making it very simple. Talking in first person in the active voice rather than the passive voice to give users a very homely sense of belonging has seemed to have a lot more conversion. And this is what we're doing in our workshops with dApps that might be integrated inside as well. But generally, the principles stand to be the same. Simple user experiences that breed useful experiences and evoke joy lead to meaningful usage. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is all great, but what do I build? And what do I think? Don't worry, like I've got ideas for you. No, seriously, like we're going to dive into some ideas and just like literally give you ideas that you can think about that are going to give you, get the juices flowing so that you don't need a lot of creativity and it's just no BS building right after. So I've broken down the ideas across about 9 categories, and I'll go into each one of them in no particular order here, but I want to go into them so as to give you a flavor for what kind of things might benefit the region. Now, where did this like list of ideas come from? Is some of it comes from user research that we've done in the region to speak with people and see what is most useful. Some of it, on the other hand, comes from things that have worked across fintech apps across the globe and experiences we want to enable through MiniPay for these users. And third, they're just ideas that I've had on a notepad for a very long time that I wanted to put out there and share with you in the form of complete open source slide deck today. Now, what you're building will by no means is a guiding document for what works and what doesn't. And it by no means serves as a North Star. So definitely feel free to build what you think makes the most sense that fits within the principles that I spoke about. But that said, if you are looking for ideas, this is the place to be. Now, in the first category, I want to go into what it means to build a business-to-business application. And I'll give you the example of an application that has caught like wildfire in the Indian context of storefronts getting a way to receive money from their customers, be able to show some products and something that interfaces directly with the user. It's a very simple user experience that allows for users to track the transactions that they've received, notifies them when the transaction has been received, and gives them, it gives their customer confirmation if the product has gotten to them, etc. Now, many of these businesses need help in thinking about how to manage the load of customers as they onboard to MiniPay. And so this could be an opportunity for something that you could build on it. In addition to that, enabling something along the lines of a pay with MiniPay option which is enabling a user to simply go scan a QR code and then say pay with MiniPay, which could be bundled with some form of in-person activation, such as having a QR code that is printed that is mailed to the user is something that is cool. Through the hackathon, as well as when you're building a product, don't hesitate to think in the realm that is beyond just your computer and the app. There are ways in which you can engage with the user beyond that, and we love applications. We want to give all of our love to applications that do the whole spectrum of things. In addition to that, oftentimes merchants have to make bulk payments to a variety of addresses, and so being able to multi-select contacts allows for a user to send the same amount of money to multiple users all at the same time and trigger that. So if you notice, all of these applications still have CUSD or Celo dollar stablecoin in the backend. And why that is so is because in the spirit of simplicity, we've currently enabled users to use just a dollar. So when they dropped into the interface, if you have used the application, you would see this. If not, I strongly recommend trying it out. You'll see that a user can only see like dollars. So why is that so? We wanted to build something that is super simple. And so building on top of that gives users the mental models they need to kind of push forward on this. So lastly, I think you can also think about building something along the lines of a budgeting software that allows for users to budget using CUSD, and that could be really meaningful. What do I mean by budgeting? Well, planning and stock keeping, etc. That allows for a user that is a shop owner to like budget for themselves. One idea that I'm super excited about that I added pretty late into this is building a Shopify for users that have like storefronts. So the idea there is we don't want to have users have to go through a complex flow to build any software, but they can just accept the payments that come in through the Shopify-like interface and perhaps have like some form of a SaaS model around it. And that could be really, really meaningful. And aside from this, I think loyalty is also something I'm super bullish about. Enabling a user to feel joy at the end of purchase, as well as a way for to give users that use their app or their service a way to feel connected to it through loyalty, such as distributing rewards at the end of like 5 or 7 purchases, could be really meaningful. This would come as completely on-chain, so you don't need to think about it as something that comes off-chain as well. Right? The second category I want to dive into is yields, right? And yields are an important component of making the product sticky. And we want to make sure that people feel compelled to build applications around the construct of yield. Now, very simply put, it's all it is a button, a field that has the amount that a person wants to deposit and a button that says deposit. But where you can innovate on this is making yield simpler, more reliable, and easier to access. How one can do that is by accessing different formats of yield. Perhaps it can come through cross-chain activity. You could use protocols that exist on-chain to create some form of yield for the users, and makes it very, very simple user experience. The complexity of this app would particularly lie in creating reliability and stability of yield in the backend when people start to deposit and it happens to go at scale. And this is something that we're super excited about and looking forward to have a lot of applications there. Next up, Microwork, or earning money through tasks on your phone. The next 3 points are kind of a build-up of the yield point, but earning through your phone is a very important part of the demographic that we've seen. A sizable portion of our audience currently wants to earn money through either doing tasks or through not doing tasks. Very simply put, users want money, and figuring out a way in which your app can make them money through some mechanism is meaningful. So either it could be in the form of a TaskRabbit-like situation where a user can list tasks on one side, and on the other side of the marketplace, a user can go and cross those off. It could be really meaningful for users to earn through these tasks and feel fulfilled. We also see MiniPay users as business owners eventually that can access and create access for other people through the apps that they build. In addition to this, if you're wondering more as to what I was talking about in this construct of making yields easier, uh, making yields simpler through access to T-bill yield on CUSD could be really, really meaningful. In addition to that, if you're able to create simpler user experiences to get to cross-chain yield, that would also be a really meaningful DeFi project that we could embed. Now, if you look at it, a lot of these applications tend to be run-of-the-mill in that they are common, and a MiniPay app is no different from an app. But where it differentiates itself is simplicity and creating reliability for the end user. Next up, personal finance. Think about consumer use cases that you personally have in your everyday life that involve money. And this is where benefiting from that could be meaningful. A simple search of the use case that you use or the app that you use and see if it has any penetration in Africa could be a really meaningful way to find out if this app makes sense for the African context or not. One app that I very commonly use to settle and to like make payments with my friends is Splitwise, wherein it allows me to simplify debts and then finally make a settlement. So something along the lines of a Splitwise that allows you to settle using MiniPay could evoke joy at the end of it. For families, giving control to users through enabling them to create specific wallets or smaller wallets for them to have access to payment control could be really, really meaningful, such that parents and kids can manage their budgets a lot better. Autosaver or yield generating could be apps that plug into yield protocols in the back, but allow you to save change that you're about to make that makes a lot more sense for the end user that could be really, really meaningful. And we've grown to see that that is something that, that people would really enjoy. And then in addition to that, short-term loans, being able to pool loans such that you can earn with your friends is also something that people feel a lot of value in. In addition to that, if with the way the wallet is structured, sometimes permissions to the wallet, to the users' spending habits may be something that you can create an opportunity out of. In that, helping them be better money managers for their own for their usage of funds. And then lastly, social savings pools. So pooling in with your friends in order to earn a collective yield, and at the same time, allowing your friends to be able to access that yield. So some form of a smart contract application that allows for this would be good. Moving on, another use case or another set of use cases that we've seen might be super exciting for our users and our user base is thinking about rewards and a way to enable rewards for the user through either businesses subsidizing rewards for access to their products in the form of gift cards. So one example of this that I can give you is the mall gift card that you have there. Being able to access it both brings benefit and a win-win-win conditions for merchants, businesses, users, and yourself. So aggregating these could be a really meaningful use case. Check out Bidali. That's good inspiration right there. Coupons for users, as I said, is a really good use case there that could lead to a lot of well-designed outcome. Next up, X to win. So some form of probabilistic reward functions could be a really good application that a user can benefit quite a bit out of, right? And thinking about it completely on chain is something that could be so meaningful that allows for a user to win. There's two sides to the marketplace again, enabling rewards, which could be through rewards that mean a lot to users in the form of businesses or things that they use on a daily basis. Or in the other side, you could play around with the kind of things that they do, such as shake their phone or scratch to win. And in addition to this, you can also enable rewards through games. Thinking about an arcade situation where you have sort of ERC20 tokens distributed to users for performing certain behaviors could be really, really meaningful. Most of these ideas are indeed user experience plays. These are playbooks that have worked across the globe, and we're looking to bring these in to our context here and could be really meaningful for us to have. One big one for us is crowdfunding, enabling users to be able to fund a cause of their liking in a way that is truly simple, allows for them to come aboard and support their fellow users. Someone in the neighborhood needs help, crowdfund it. Someone in the someone in your near vicinity needs extra cash for whatever reason. You will be able to do it via MiniPay through a crowdfunding application by setting something like this up. And since most of your friends will be on MiniPay, it just becomes easier for you to do it. So building creative solutions around this that involve MiniPay could be a really meaningful approach. Now, next up, if you notice all of the applications that I've talked to you about thus far, they've all been centered around things that are unrelated to crypto. And you may wonder, why is that? Well, we want to take this step to bringing people closer to crypto through things that they relate to and things that they understand and things that they feel good about. And the best things are things that are simple. Given how convoluted some of the user experiences can be, a big part of it can be you taking crypto to an experience that a user already knows and understands and making it simple. And so this slide is sort of thinking about how you can bring crypto to the user and not user to crypto. So here in this case, thinking about it more specifically, you could build something along the lines of an NFT marketplace or an NFT viewer that allows for use cases such as loyalty to be enabled on the platform. In addition to that, allowing users to track assets outside of CUSD through some form of a Celo tracker, if you will, that allows a quick view of all of their on-chain assets could be a meaningful application that gets a lot of traffic. Enabling swaps to assets such as Bitcoin and ETH could be really, really meaningful, where a user can store their value that is in CUSD in the form of some other asset could also be a really meaningful application. Lastly, ramps truly enable a meaningful experience for users. One other point that I missed out on in terms of enhancing user experience is that we've made it very easy for people to onboard to crypto. We've negotiated and built out the best ramp experiences for these users such that they're able to buy their first crypto in less than 5 seconds and almost little to no fees. And so anyone that's enabling fiat to crypto ramps could create an application around these lines for like ramp usage and something that we are willing to consider. And this is definitely a very high priority. Now, tools you can use. Well, there are 3 big tools that I'd say that you can use. And like with this, I mean, I'm concluding the section on ideas, which is the bulk of where we stand. Please feel free to add comments. I appreciate the comments on the chat, but feel free to like send across any notes that you have there. It's really simple. So the tools that you have are, and I'll share this deck with you as well. We have the docs that you can use in order for it to go live. That has instructions on MiniPay that are around MiniPay specifically, but also on using the Celo platform and other tooling that we have available. But just know that Celo is fully EVM compatible, making it super simple for you to build native applications in a really, really simple way, given most of it works outside right out the box. Now, there's a couple of good updates coming to Code Composer later this week, but also the current version of Code Composer with minimal edits is something that you can indeed use in order to build for this. And the third resource, which I don't think got populated here fast enough, is indeed the homepage for the hackathon. That's going to have all of the information, including this deck and all of the other stuff that you'll need that Daniel has put together. That is absolutely wonderful. That will enable you to go live with information that you're looking for. Now, these are at a high level the tools that you may use. With that, I leave you with the ideas, the principle, some of the ideas that you may use, and some of the tooling that defines the how that you may use to build these applications and experiences. I would like to thank you all for taking the time to be here and attend this presentation to get a sense for the different things that you could be building on MiniPay. What I will say is I'm here to give you guidance on things that might be useful and applications that you have. I'm perpetually reachable on Twitter. You can look me up at Jason Rodrigues, Jason Rogues, and my email address is jason@celo.org. So feel free to reach out, and I'm happy to give you a sense for all of the cool stuff that you can be building on the platform. This is my contact information right there, and thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jason. Let's just give folks a chance to ask questions. If you have any question, please type it on the chat box. Just I'm gonna give folks a minute to do that, and if not, we can close the webinar. Jason, that was great. Thank you so much. I'm thinking I took notes, but I have to rewatch this webinar to kind of like make a list of all the ideas, and with that prepare perhaps a tweet for later and update the list of ideas on the website. You had a bunch more, so I'm really excited. I know there's more ideas always coming, and which makes me happy. Hopefully, people find them and build with them.
100%. And excited to keep the ball rolling. Daniel, do you have any questions for me? Any thoughts?
Perhaps more in the. I'm not sure if there's a question here, but I have been discussing with a few folks about this hackathon, and I think that there's a theme of anything that is kind of like an everyday activity that uses CUSD or a stable asset. And I think that's great. And perhaps you had a bunch of ideas that are everyday use of stable assets, but I didn't see that as a category, right? So anything that like gets people to just interact with the blockchain on a regular daily basis, I think that could be really cool to see. And I feel like that gets into kind of like what MiniPay could do that is so amazing, which is this idea of kind of like distribution that I saw a tweet from you that I found very inspiring. Just thinking about what it looks to build, what it looks like to build a product that has a massive distribution, and how you build something for that type of use, right? So again, not a question, but a comment, and something that is in my mind that I am excited about.
Absolutely. I think there's a question on the chat about
Yeah.
whether there's a recording. You want to address that?
Yes. So if you want to watch this video later, it is going to live on the YouTube channel, Celo's YouTube channel. So I believe the channel is called Celo Org. So you will be able to find it there, as well as the recording from the previous technical workshop we did with Real last week, and a bunch of content that we have produced in the past. So we have a big channel on YouTube that you can use and rewatch this. Cool, Jason. With that, thank you so much for all your ideas and your presentation. It was great. Have a good day, and good luck to everyone that is hacking.
Good luck and goodbye. Stay in touch.
Bye-bye.